Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursaleen Sayyidina wa Malana Muhammad wa ala alihi al-athhar wa ashabihi al-akhyar wa sallim tasliman kathira. Amma ba'd. Welcome everyone to our live session. Inshallah, we will be reciting and reading together Surah An-Naba today. And inshallah, this Ramadan we'll be finishing, inshallah, all of Juz A'mma together. So I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help you guys at home to read everything slowly and properly, and I'm gonna go bit by bit, and inshallah, it will be easy, inshallah. Okay. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So first, Surah An-Naba. That's the first surah from Juz A'mma, and inshallah from here we will read, and then by the end of Ramadan we will khatam and finish Surah An-Nas, Surah Al-Ikhlas, inshallah. So now before I start, these were the biggest and main tips that I got from my teacher when reciting Quran. So basically, in Arabic language, we have harakat. So harakat is basically, if you open your Mus'haf, if you open your Quran and you see all the signs above the letters or below the letters, that's called a haraka. So we have fatha, dhamma, and kasra. And those are the three basic things when reading Quran. If you master these three things, inshallah, reading the Quran will be much easier, inshallah. So, and even the harakat is known as riyadatul fam, which means exercising your mouth. So we have fatha, a, kasra, e, dhamma, u. Those are the three harakats we have. And what I mean by exercising your mouth is that make sure your mouth is open. So when you recite, I don't want to see or I don't want to hear, mumbling or murmuring. So if you open your mouth clearly, you will be able to recite well and you will be able to pronounce everything properly as they should be pronounced. So inshallah, we're just gonna go through the haraka together. So if you just practice at home a little bit before we start Surah An-Naba, that would be really good. So just kind of get your jaws ready. My teacher would always say loosen your jaws. She'd always say loosen them up. So when you recite, don't hold your mouth or don't be shy. Really open it. So open your jaws. So we have a, e, u. Good. Okay. So inshallah, I'm going to read the beginning. I'm going to read the first ayah of Surah An-Naba. And we're going to start with isti'adha. Isti'adha means when you say A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. So I will say it once and then I'll give you some time to say it at home after me, inshallah. Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Okay, one more time. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. So I need you guys to open your mouths clearly. Okay. A, I, U. أعوذ. Okay. So another tip here is dhamma. My teacher would always say, make sure your lips really come out when you do dhamma. I don't want to see people do a'udhu, a'udhu. It has to be clear. A'udhu. So your lips are really out. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Good. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So another thing I want to mention is kasra. So we've done the dhamma now. Now let's practice our kasra. So actually the word kasra in Arabic means when something breaks. So what you want to break is your bottom lip from your top lip. B, Bismillah. So that's kasra. And I didn't mention about the meaning of dhamma. Dhamma means when something comes together. It could even mean hug, the Arabic translation of dhamma. So when you do dhamma, your lips are literally coming together. So that's why you have to make a oo sound. So your lips are doing a dhamma motion. So we have oo, then we have e, kasra, I just said, your bottom lip breaking from your top lip. And then we have fatha. Fatha means to open. So we want to make sure your jaw and your throat is like open. Open your mouth. Don't try to say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. No, you must say it clearly and open your mouth. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Okay, good. Now let's start with the beginning of Surah An-Naba. عَمَّ يَتَسَاءَلُونَ. So we have the letter Ain, and this can be quite tricky to pronounce, so we're just going to practice together. So it's Ain. It's a very we don't have a letter like it in English, basically. So it's very different. You're going to have to really like go deep in your throat. عَمَّ يَتَسَاءَلُونَ. Another thing about this ayah is that the meme, if you can see, if you open your mushaf to the page of Surah An-Naba, on the meme there's a little sign that looks like a W. So this sign is called shadda. And anytime there's a meme with a shadda, you must hold. You must give it quite some time. عَمَّ يَتَسَاءَلُونَ. عَمَّ. So the noise that I'm making for this meme is called ghunna. I won't explain too much of it, but just to make it easier to recite at home, ghunna comes from your nose. It's a nasal sound. So try and make that sound at home. And because it's shadda, you must hold. عَمَّ يَتَسَاءَلُونَ. And with the lam, it's dhamma. So as we said, please put your lips out for the dhamma sign. عَمَّ يَتَسَاءَلُونَ. Loon. Okay, good. The next ayah. عَنِ النَّبَإِ الْعَظِيمِ. Again with the ain. Not anin, but ain. عَنِ النَّبَإِ الْعَظِيمِ. Okay, good. When you see a noon with the same sign as a meme, the small W sign is called a shadda. If you see a shadda on the noon, you also must hold for some time. عَنِ النَّبَإِ الْعَظِيمِ. So you need to hold on the noon, just like we did in عَمَّ يَتَسَاءَلُونَ. Again for عَنِ النَّبَإِ الْعَظِيمِ. عَنِ النَّبَإِ الْعَظِيمِ. Okay, good. الَّذِي هُمْ فِيهِ مُخْتَلِفُونَ. Okay, try say it at home. I'll say it again. الَّذِي هُمْ فِيهِ مُخْتَلِفُونَ. الَّذِي كسرة. الَّذِي هُمْ, we have ضمة. الَّذِي هُمْ فِيهِ مُخْتَلِفُونَ. Another tricky letter may be the khaf. So let's practice together. Kha, again, is not a letter we have in English, so we need to practice it. It's like it's from your throat. Kha, kha. It's quite a rough letter. مختلفون. And again, we have dhamma. مختلفون. Good. So we've mentioned the important thing so far, which is the harakat, fatha, dhamma, and kasra. So please move your lips accordingly. Another tip that will help you is every time you see sukoon in your mushaf, every time you see a sukoon in your Quran, give it some time. So basically, every time there's a sukoon on a letter, that's when the letter, its characteristics show. So you must give it time. So all I'm saying is that if you see sukun, give it some time. الذي هم فيه مختلفون. Don't try to skip the letters or read too fast. Read everything slowly and give each letter its time. الذي هم فيه مختلفون. Okay, good. كلا سيعلمون. كلا سيعلمون. So I hope everyone's moving their lips accordingly. Don't be shy, don't be scared. Really open your mouth, open your jaw, and make the correct movements from your lips. كلا سيعلمون. Another tricky one might be the ayn again. So, and this is different. So now the sukoon is on the ayn. So we have to give time to this letter. So try to say ya. Just don't say the whole ayah yet. Just try to practice on the ya. Ya. كلا سيعلمون. Good. ثم كلا سيعلمون. So again, in this ayah, we have a meme with a shadda. Meme with a shadda, so you must give it some time, and it makes a ghunna sound from your nose. ثم كلا سيعلمون. Good. ألم نجعل الأرض مهادا. ألم نجعل الأرض مهادا. Okay. So ألم, give it time, the sukun. ألم نجعل الأرض مهادا. نج. So we have a jim with a sukun. And I'm not going to give you too much information today, but inshallah we will learn a bit of the rules, just a little bit. And anytime you see a jim with a sukun on it, it's qalqala. So qalqala means something that's like it bounces. It's not stable, okay? So basically, you just have to make it kind of like bounce. Nudge. So it's not nudge. It's not like you'd say nudge in English. It's not nudge. It's nudge. Nudge. You need that bounce. ألم نجعل الأرض مهادا. And another thing to point out here is that we have the letter la, and la can be very tricky because it's such a different letter and it's very heavy. So we call la a heavy letter. So it's not da, okay? I don't want to hear, or I don't want people to say da, da. Say it properly. Da, da. It really comes from the back. Da, not da. Da, okay? ألم نجعل الأرض مهادا. Good. والجبال أوتادا. Remember, give every letter with a sukun time. والجبال أوتادا. Good. وخلقناكم أزواجا. وخلقناكم أزواجا. Okay, so here we have a qaf, وخلقنا. So qaf has a sukun, and again, this is another qalqala letter, meaning it has to have a bounce. Okay, so not خلقناكم. I don't want to hear خلقنا. It's خلق. You need to have a bounce. خلقناكم وخلقناكم أزواجا. Good. وجعلنا نومكم سباتا. وجعلنا نومكم سباتا. Should be pretty straightforward, inshallah. Okay. وَجَعَلْنَا اللَّيْلَ لِبَاسًا. So careful with the ayn. وَجَعَلْنَا, not وَجَعَلْنَا, ayn. وَجَعَلْنَا اللَّيْلَ لِبَاسًا. And the next ayah. وَجَعَلْنَا النَّهَارَ مَعَاشًا. One more time. This is a little bit tricky. وَجَعَلْنَا النَّهَارَ مَعَاشًا. So again with the ayn, there's lots of ayns in this surah. وَجَعَلْنَا وَجَعَلْنَا النَّهَارَ مَعَاشًا. So as you can see in this noon, there's also a shadda. So you have to give it time and ghunna from your nose. وَجَعَلْنَا النَّهَارَ مَعَاشًا. Okay. Another thing to point out is that this is a ha. Okay, so we have two letters in Arabic that are similar. We have ha and we have ha. So ha, also known as the hot ha, it comes from the middle of your throat and it has like a hot kind of ha, like a burn. But the other ha is deep. That's very deep and almost like the English H, I'd say. So ha. So this one is not the hot one. This one is the deep one. وَجَعَلْنَا النَّهَارَ, not naha, naha. وَجَعَلْنَا النَّهَارَ مَعَاشًا. وَبَنَيْنَا فَوْقَكُمْ سَبْعًا شِدَادًا. This one's a bit long, but I'll help you guys, inshallah. وَبَنَيْنَا فَوْقَكُمْ سَبْعًا شِدَادًا. So وَبَنَيْنَا, that should be easy. وَبَنَيْنَا, open your mouth. وَبَنَيْنَا فَوْقَكُمْ قَا. So qa is heavy and kaf is not heavy. So وَبَنَيْنَا فَوْقَكُمْ, and it's quite tricky because the qaf is next to the kaf. So you might accidentally say فَوْقَكُمْ or فَوْقَكُمْ. So try to differentiate it. فَوْقَكُمْ. قَكُمْ. qa is heavy, kaf is light. وَبَنَيْنَا فَوْقَكُمْ قَكُمْ وَبَنَيْنَا فَوْقَكُمْ سَبْعًا شِدَادًا. Again, there's a sukoon on the ba, so we must have a bounce. So not sab'an, but sab'. فَوْقَكُمْ سَبْعًا شِدَادًا. And as you can see on the ayn, there's a tanween and a sheen after it. I'm not going to explain too much, but just copy what I'm doing. سَبْعًا شِدَادًا. So basically, the ayn is slowly turning into the sheen. It's merging into the sheen. So سَبْعًا she. You can see that my mouth is getting ready for the letter after it. سَبْعًا شِدَادًا. سَبْعًا شِدَادًا. Okay, good. So it's not like سَبْعًا شِدَادًا, but it's a merge. And this merging process, you need to give it time. So don't say it too quick, don't rush it. Say it slowly. سَبْعًا شِدَادًا. Okay, let's say the ayah again, one more time, but slowly. وَبَنَيْنَا فَوْقَكُمْ سَبْعًا شِدَادًا. Okay, good. وَجَعَلْنَا سِرَاجًا وَهَّاجًا. وَجَعَلْنَا سِرَاجًا وَهَّاجًا. Okay, so وَجَعَلْنَا again, that should be okay by now, inshallah. So just the ayn. وَجَعَلْنَا, not alif, not وَجَعَلْنَا, وَجَعَا. وَجَعَلْنَا سِرَاجًا وَهَّاجًا. So as you can see on the Jim, we also have a tanween fatha. So the tanween merges into the next letter. Sirajan, and you need to give it some time. Sirajan wahhaja. Let's say it again together. وَجَعَلْنَا سِرَاجًا وَهَّاجًا. Again with a ha, it's not a ha, it's a ha, a deep ha. وَجَعَلْنَا سِرَاجًا وَهَّاجًا. Good. The next ayah. وَأَنزَلْنَا مِنَ الْمُعْصِرَاتِ مَاءً ثَجَّاجًا. It's a long ayah, but we'll go through it, inshallah. وَأَنزَلْنَا. So as you can see, the noon in your mushaf may appear to be what we call naked, meaning there's no sign on it or above it or below it. It's just a noon with nothing. That's a sign. So that means there's a rule. So I'm not going to explain it, but just copy my recitation. وَأَنزَلْنَا. Okay, it's not a clear noon. That's what you need to know now. It's not a clear noon. It's not وَأَنزَلْنَا. No. It's وَأَنزَلْنَا. So your noon is sukoon, but you can kind of hear the next letter, meaning you can kind of hear the zay coming in. وَأَنزَلْنَا. Not وَأَنزَلْنَا, but وَأَنزَلْنَا. Good. وَأَنزَلْنَا مِنَ الْمُعْصِرَاتِ مَاءً ثَجَّاجًا. Okay, so we've done the وَأَنزَلْنَا part. مِنَ الْمُعْ. Okay, this is, even for me, this is very tricky. مُعْ. So this is ayn again, but with a sukoon on it. مِنَ الْمُعْصِرَاتِ. Okay. And also we have a sad and not a sin. So this word in itself is a bit tricky. So try not to say mu'sirat, because mu'sirat it's wrong. Mu'ain. Mu'sirat is a sad, not a sin. وَأَنزَلْنَا مِنَ الْمُعْصِرَاتِ مَاءً ثَجَّاجًا. مِنَ الْمُعْصِرَاتِ مَاءً ثَجَّاجًا. Okay, try say I hope. And after the word ma'a, as you can see on the hamza, there's also a tanween. And after the tanween is a tha. So it's not a direct tanween sound. It's not an thajjaja, but your hamza is merging into the tha. وَأَنزَلْنَا مِنَ الْمُعْصِرَاتِ مَاءً ثَجَّاجًا. ثَجَّاجًا. So the hamza, the tanween, is getting ready and merging into the tha. مَاءً ثَجَّاجًا. And the ma is really long, 4 counts. So don't make it short. So we're going to read this together. This is the last ayah, by the way, for today. وَأَنزَلْنَا مِنَ الْمُعْصِرَاتِ مَاءً ثَجَّاجًا. Okay, so as time is running out and we still have a little hadith from Ustazah Shafiqah, I'm going to read with you at home all what we've from the beginning until what we've got to. So from the first ayah until ayah number 14, let's just read it together. So follow me at home, and starting with isti'adha. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. عما يتساءلون عن النبأ العظيم الذي هم فيه مختلفون كلا سيعلمون ثم كلا سيعلمون ألم نجعل الأرض مهادا والجبال أوتادا وخلقناكم أزواجا وجعلنا نومكم سباتا وجعلنا الليل لباسا وجعلنا النهار معاشا وبنينا فوقكم سبعا شدادا وجعلنا سراجا وهاجا وأنزلنا من المعصرات ماء ثجاجا. Sadaqallahul Azim. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys benefited from this, inshallah. And we will carry on the rest of the surah tomorrow. But before that, Ustazah Shafiqah has a hadith to share, inshallah.
Terima kasih Ustazah Fairuz. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala sayyidina Rasulillah Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Amma ba'd. Alhamdulillah untuk semua pendengar yang mendengar, kerana Allah dah pilih kita semua untuk sampai kepada Ramadan. Sebelum kita masuk bulan Ramadan, masih kita dekat bulan Rejab lagi, 2 bulan sebelum bulan Ramadan, Rasulullah SAW dah ajarkan dekat kita doa supaya daripada setiap bulan Rejab lagi, doa supaya kita dapat jumpa Ramadan. Dalam bulan Sya'ban pun Rasulullah ajar doakan supaya Allah rezekikan kita dapat bertemu dengan Ramadan. Alhamdulillah, semua dari kita ni Allah rezekikan untuk dapat bulan Ramadan. Jadi apa keistimewaannya bulan Ramadan ni? Bulan Ramadan adalah sebuah hadiah daripada Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala, kerana pada bulan Ramadan adalah bulan keampunan, bulan penuh rahmat, sebagaimana yang Allah khabarkan kepada kita bahawa waktu bulan Ramadan pintu-pintu syurga dibuka, pintu-pintu neraka ditutup, syaitan semua diikat. Segala amalan sunat kita dapat pahala ibarat kita melakukan amalan fardu. Manakala kalau kita buat pula amalan-amalan fardu, ibarat kita buat 70 amalan fardu yang lain. Pahala berganda-ganda. Jadi, apa yang kita kena buat dengan hadiah daripada Allah ni? Apa reaksi yang sepatutnya, yang sewajarnya kita buat? Adalah dengan jangan mensia-siakan hadiah daripada Allah ni, supaya bila kita kembali ke akhirat jumpa Allah, kita dapat persembahkan macam mana kita mensyukuri, macam mana kita berterima kasih dengan segala rahmat yang luas Allah bagi dalam Ramadan, keampunan yang luas Allah bagi dalam Ramadan, ganda pahala yang berganda-ganda Allah sediakan dalam Ramadan. Jadi kita tunjuk dekat Allah dekat akhirat nanti, ya Allah, aku gunakan segala kesempatan yang kau bagi kepada aku ni dengan buat amal kebaikan. Jadi antara yang patut kita buat pada bulan Ramadan ni sebagai berterima kasih kepada Allah dengan buat amal kebaikan, tinggalkan amal kejahatan, tinggalkan segala yang Allah tak suka. Jadi macam mana cara kita nak buat baik dalam keadaan kita pun tak berapa baik? Jadi cara dia, kita berdamping dengan orang-orang yang baik. Jadi kita tiru apa yang orang baik buat. Bila kita berdamping dengan orang baik, kita mudah nak meniru. Jadi macam mana kalau kita rasa kita ada buat benda tak baik, tapi nak stop susah. Jadi antara tips untuk stop daripada buat perkara yang tak baik, dengan cara pergunakan kejahatan tu, pergunakan kesalahan tu tadi. Sebagai contohnya kita suka tinggikan suara dekat ibu kita. Jadi setiap kali kita buat kesalahan tinggikan suara dekat ibu, kita gunakan sebagai peluang untuk buat kebaikan. Kita sedekah ataupun kita solat 2 rakaat, solat sunat taubat. Tapi lepas tu esok kita buat lagi, kita tutup balik amal kejahatan tu dengan kebaikan. Jadi bermaksud setiap kali kita buat salah, kita mesti cover kena buat baik. Jadi makin banyak kita buat salah, makin banyak kita buat baik. Jadi segalanya semua daripada Allah. Allah lah yang bagi kita izin untuk buat baik, Allah lah yang bagi kita izin untuk tinggalkan perkara yang tak baik. Semuanya daripada Allah. La haula wala quwwata illa billahil aliyil azim. Semoga Allah bantu kita semua untuk kerjakan banyak amal kebaikan dengan ikhlas, tinggalkan segala yang tidak baik semata-mata untuk mengharapkan redha Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. InsyaAllah semoga kita berjumpa di majlis yang akan datang. Wallahu ta'ala a'lamu bis-shawab.
Thank you for everyone for joining us today, and inshallah we will see you again on Friday bi'ithnillah at the same time to carry on the rest of Surah An-Naba, and also to have another hadith session with Ustazah Shafiqah inshallah. And inshallah we will see you guys again. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.